Most individuals are unable to demonstrate financial security. Although we deal with money every single day, we're just not very good at managing it. Hello everyone, this is Women Talk and we're talking about how to be foolproof when it comes to managing our finances. An incredibly important topic and discussion that we all need to have. I'm Deborah.
And I'm Siti Saleha, Deborah's co-host for today, and I'm so excited to be discussing about money. But before we begin, let me introduce to you our two guests for today. Firstly, we have Brenda Yong, a licensed financial planner by Bank Negara Securities Commission, who has a wealth of knowledge in the financial planning, especially advice for women. And of course, we have Dr. Wincci, a former Miss World Malaysia, a multiple degree and postgraduate degree holder. The list just goes on. She's a singer, composer, actress, model, host, celebrity chef, and 3 times the Malaysia Book of Records holder. Welcome to Women Talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, for being here. Money, money, money. It makes the world go round. We say it's the root of all evil, but it exists. It's the currency of the world, and we need to figure out how to make it work for us. But it is a very scary thing for so many people, for individuals, for families, for business. And, you know, it also means financial security also means different things to different people. Yes. So maybe we can start with that. Let's break it down, Brenda. What does financial security really mean?
Well, financial security is basically you need 3,000, you get 3,000. That is a basic explanation in the context of financial security. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Would you say you are financially secure, Deborah?
Well, put me on the spot.
I always do.
She always does. Well, I have a lot to say in this topic. I think, I mean, I can talk about it later on, but I think education matters. I think
it does,
from the time you're a kid in schools, in our homes with our parents, I don't think we talked about it enough. And then when I first started earning my paycheck at like 15, I didn't know
what do I do with this money?
Yeah.
Where do I put it? What do I do? Do I spend it?
Exactly.
I mean, even though times have changed, people still have this mindset whereby, you know, some women really think that a man is their financial security. I mean,
God,
Prince
ladies,
Charming, yeah?
Man is not financial security.
Ladies,
no
you can
book
handle your
teaches
own
that.
money. Maybe Dr. Sue,
yes,
you would like to...
I think nowadays as well, in international market as well, it's been like very challenging. And also I think financial is not just about monetary value, your intelligence and also your attitude. Because the attitude will determine your financial outcomes later on. You can be rich first, but what if you don't know how to manage and your attitude is not good with it, and then one day you're going to go bankrupt, or like I've been through ups and downs and all those things. So at the end of the day, man can't help you, but only yourself.
So taking it back a step, right?
Yep.
Before financial security, we talk about financial literacy or illiteracy. Do women and men, do Malaysians really understand what it means to earn money, to save money, to invest money?
I did a good check before I come in. According to the OECD record, right, Malaysia actually ranked 12 out of 25 countries. And we are behind Indonesia in many ways, you know. We are neighboring countries. We are really behind in terms of 5 to 6 ranking. So the financial literacy for Malaysian average, especially for women, is actually below international standard. It means our knowledge on the 5 pillars that look at, like for example, investment, borrowings, savings, or even mortgage is actually ranked 12 out of 25. Yeah.
So how do we encourage financial literacy amongst women? Like, how young should we actually start?
As my youngest student is 3 years old. My oldest is 80 years old.
Tell us a story. Tell me a story about like a 3-5-year-old that you've actually been working with. What does that look like? What do they look like?
They will be very impressive because a 3-year-old kid will learn the 5 pots of money.
Wow.
And they have this pot for their mummy. I remember teaching in an international school where the kids has 20-30,000 ang pao, Chinese New Year ang pao money, and we help them to segregate to 5 to 7 pots of money. Now instead of buying the iPhone 6, 19 or whatever, they actually get a simple handphone, and the access, they actually bought the parents a high tea. So my phone call rang non-stop that day, and the teacher said, hey, stop teaching my children, teach us first. We are teachers, we earn good money, but we do not know.
At the end of the day, it's all gone, and you're like, but it goes way beyond, I think, the concept of a piggy bank, right? You take your loose change and put it in. I mean, and I think, Brenda, you mentioned it earlier. For me, I always think about, you get some money, you spend some, you save some, you give some to charity, so zakat or charity, but you also have to grow your money.
Exactly.
Of course.
And I think that's a part that for so many of us, it's
not really equipped with the knowledge, right? Like, where do we start?
Yes. So we are not taught with multiple pots of income and multiple pots of stewardship of income as well. So therefore, this knowledge is really far behind for Malaysian public.
Yeah. As for like, I would say for me, it's like I'm very careful with my money, and I wish I was a risk taker. You know, so maybe that's something I want to learn from you, Brenda, which you are such a risk taker, and that's why you are on this show.
Thank you,
leading us.
There's so much to share. We have to understand our money personality, our habits and attitude, and definitely a neurofinance. You know, like some of our kids, you know, say, "Oh, marry a Prince Charming," you know, money drop from the tree. That kind of thing. That is imprinted in the brain. It's called neurofinance. So therefore, there's a lot of things for us as lady to understand, like money personality, money habits and attitude. You just mentioned just now, Dr. Su, as well as also understanding the neurofinance. What actually holds us back as a lady? So we are good as a baby producing machine. Yeah, if it's imprinted over the generations, that it will lock us in. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about, as you said, breaking habits, bad habits, and building new ones. We'll see you after this. Talk about all women in the country, not just the ladies with the big paychecks that we hope know what to do with their money, but also stay-at-home mums, entrepreneurs, everyone, and I'm sure, Brenda, you can speak to this, everyone at any stage should be able to be quite prudent with how they manage their money. Am I right?
Yes, 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 because we have all sorts of women. We have actually 10 personality in nature, for example. We have the secretive and the flamboyant. We also have the Queen Elizabeth services where everything is provided, even the Prince Charming. So each of the women that we are talking today have a different type of financial planning or standard procedures to help them to navigate their finance. You know, the structural flow, the system, the process, the knowledge, and the skill set as well.
Right. So it doesn't mean that, like, you know, if there's a lady watching, she thinks, oh, but I don't have much, so this is not for me. That would be an incorrect way to think, right?
Yes, definitely. You can start, if a 3-year-old can make an impact. In fact, I'm very pleased to share with you, we have the latest story from Sabah, where the students are between 3 to actually 12, and they raised 37,000 just to they bought a van for the school. Isn't that impressive? They are 3 to 12.
That's fantastic.
That's great. Okay, so we know of many women who do work and earn their own money, right? But many also don't work and are quite dependent. So, for instance, stay-at-home moms, right, housewives, how can they achieve financial security?
Yeah, I think that's super important.
Yeah. I think for income purposes, there are many, like Dr. Su is a woman with passion. She loves to sing, dance, and many credentials.
Everything like
she actually practically a walking example of monetizing her passion. Monetizing her passion. So I would say that, you know,
monetizing your passion.
Yes, monetizing your passion. That for all ladies who like cooking or even bakery or in some of a private cuisine that can actually explore that.
Wincci, tell us a little bit about yourself, your personal journey. Did you have the support? Did someone teach you this, or did you stumble, make mistakes along the way?
Okay, yes, I make mistake, I learn from it. Because I agree with Deborah that we know if someone guided us earlier, then we don't need to hit all the stones or hit all these walls, you know. But I remember like 5 years ago when I got my offer in Spain, honestly, I was just left with €1. Okay, I don't know what, to come back or to, you know, to give up or whatever. Nobody supported me, so I had to support myself. So I have to push myself and work there part-time. I even work as a crew. You know, like this 5 years, my pilot friends or my professional like friends and stuff, I was like, ego, just go, let go.
Aside.
Yeah, I was like, pandemic changed everything. I don't care you're a CEO, beauty queen or whatever. I was like, we come now and work. You know, in Hollywood as well, when I got the scholarship, you know that in Hollywood, only 1% are women producer. So I got into scholarship because I want to work.
And you want to make a change.
I want to make a change. It's tough. It's tough to be a producer.
No one is saying this is easy.
Yeah, I was like, no one knows that I've been wrapping cable every day there during 5 years. Like, I haven't appeared on TV station because I was like, I want to get the technical right. Even like my professorship and everything, I was like, I'm teaching almost like 10 or 20 hours per day. So a lot of times I told the women that do not think that women are just in the kitchen, women are all this. Go and challenge different occupation.
That's right.
I told the guys as well, I was like, give us some chance, you know,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you want the equality. If it's unbalanced, I can tell you it doesn't work nowadays.
Yeah. And you were speaking about the pandemic, and in Malaysia, it's been, well, in the world, it's been a very difficult few years for so many people trying to survive the situation and with job losses. So our government with EPF, they recently allowed people to take out some funds, and it's a good thing. puts more money into the economy, but also reduces the amount of money you have for your retirement savings. Let's take a look at what EPF had to say.
The biggest impact actually is on our members themselves. If you look at the proportion of members below 10,000 ringgit, we expect with the latest special withdrawal, it will actually rise to about 53%. There's over 1 million of our members who are below 1,000 ringgit. So that's quite worrying. I think especially since for many of them, for quite a few of them, I think they're already past 40. They won't have time to recover. We obviously have a great deal of concern about retirement savings. If you look at the statistics, and this is even before COVID and all the withdrawals, even before COVID, we were looking at roughly about 3/4 of our members who don't meet the basic savings requirement at age 54. Basic savings is 1,000 ringgit for 12 months for 20 years. 1,000 ringgit doesn't get you very far. It's effectively poverty line income. So the fact that 3/4 of our members don't even meet this very minimal, I think, level of savings is of great concern, and I think it should be a national priority to resolve. One of the things that we're going to try to do is reorder the way we distribute contributions coming in. Rather than 70% going into account 1 and 30% going into account 2, we're going to, for those who've withdrawn, we're going to put 100% into account 1 until they recover back what they've withdrawn. So that's part of our commitment to rebuilding savings.
So that sounds like a little bit of bleak news to me, but I should ask you, Brenda, quickly to let us know what the situation is.
Well, the release check is right now hitting on us really seriously, because you look at the overall data, only 34% Malaysian is able to meet the age group savings. You mean you're 30s, you're supposed to have 200,000, you should have that, right? So only 34% Malaysian can get it. So which means we have 14 million contributed to EPF, only 34, or maybe now it's 30%. Or it means there's possibly only 3 million people who can retire comfortably. Not luxuries, comfortably. So imagine we have 32 million, only 3 million plus are able to have a comfortable retirement, which means the rest of us have to work regardless of age, just like Singapore, our neighbour.
You keep working, basically.
Yes, even at 60s, they have to start working, They started working at 60 because the kids cannot afford and they cannot afford as well. So they extended their retirement age from 60 to 65, and Malaysia has already extended to 60. Will we be pushing it to 65? I think there is possibility, because this pandemic actually caused us a real change in our trajectory.
Yes, and we understand that Dr. Su Wincci has faced bankruptcy before,
almost.
Right?
Yeah.
But let's just go for a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and talk about that.
We're quite practical about conversations like that. And my husband is a very, very organized person, so he's organized more than just his organization, and he's actually thought about what will happen and planned for that ahead. I think that's being responsible again, because things really get ugly and messy upon the demise of the head of a family, and that's something I don't enjoy. For me, I don't like conflict like that. Right? So I'm glad we have these conversations, and he's well sorted for a plan.
Welcome back to Women Talk. We are discussing financial security. So let's go back to Dr. Su Wincci's story about how she almost went bankrupt, or you did?
I did not went bankruptcy, but it's just almost, because I was doing my concert and something happened and the sponsors pulled out and stuff. So I have to fork out my own money and stuff. But the thing is, I agree that whenever you face all these challenges, talk to someone. So I went and I let go my ego. I talked to a lot of people, and I go and beg people and stuff. Then I didn't take any income for almost 5 to 10 years to clear off my debts.
Wow.
So I really sacrificed a lot. I don't care, because for me it's like I just want to solve it, but I'm willing to admit that You know, I don't like to like cover because things happen. Okay, so in meeting and all these things, like, okay, things happen. How do we meditate? I don't want to complain. So okay, one, I cut my staff, I do myself, and then I don't take salary. And then like some of my friends borrow me money because I borrowed them before. So a lot of us, we came in and helped. So then I solved it within almost 3 to 5 years. Done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the support that matters, right?
Support, man, and also don't be silent. You know,
Yes.
people at the weakest point, people will pinpoint you down. You can see the true colors of people. I saw before. You know, people who are good, you know, when you're rich, but when you have nothing, I can tell you, people come and poke you and stuff. But a lot of times, do not be negative. You know.
Yeah. I want to zero back to the family, right? Very often, money is a very taboo subject within families, even, and very often it's also the cause of conflict, divorce.
Oh my God,
arguments, you name it, right? Money is a trigger for a lot of this.
Very sensitive topic.
It is a very sensitive topic, so therefore let's not talk about it, you know, like many things. So what do we say to the families out there, to the mums and dads, like why it's important? Even family planning, so say writing a will or making sure that something happens, that your children are taken care of, educating them, letting them know what's available to them, what their inheritance is.
Yeah, actually financial planning is a 3-step process. Step 1, make sure the wealth protection is in order, then accumulate your wealth and distribute. It's a 3-step simple process, but it's very complex in its own nature. For example, we have to calculate our womanhood. For Dr. Sue issue, credit card debts and all social debts, you know, calculate. That's what she's carrying. But who taught us how to calculate our womanhood? And who gave us a scorecard to be that woman we are supposed to be, you know? That we look good on the outside, we're beautiful inside, we're beautiful outside. And
we don't know what's
going through, like coming back to the story about bankruptcy. So government actually enacted a special law just to help us for this pandemic period. If there's a bankruptcy, usually it's about 35.
Yes.
But because of the pandemic, they have enacted a special law just to increase it from 35 to 100,000. And Malaysia government is stepping in as a mediation board between the creditors and the person who owe the money. So for those of us who are outside struggling, do not lose hope. The government is stepping in and do not lose hope. I mean, life is more precious, right? Like a powerful story. She has picked up herself in 3 to 5 years. I'm sure all of us can do it.
Yeah, I can do it. I've been there. I thought I almost give up. I was like, just go and push. You'll get something there.
Wow,
you know?
that's amazing.
Same goes to my story. I became a financial advisor not because of anything, because my mom was diagnosed with cancer and nobody taught me financial planning. So I was selling my house, selling my car, and I pawned 25,000 worth of gold just to pay for the bills. All my wedding goals was, I didn't even take a picture of my wedding goals. So I just saw it on the day of wedding and it's gone. But I have a mum, so mum is priority. The rest.
But your story and even your story is the story of millions of women, millions of people who just did not know any better.
Yeah. So that's why I started a program called the Well of Life Woman to bring them to spa. To learn about money, take them to makeup to learn about distribution of wealth by putting some lipstick on. Because we can't take technical data. It's not everybody trained with my brain, which is left side, right? So many of us are more emotional learning. So we have to help us women to learn money in a very gentle manner.
Okay.
And we believe you have a book, right? On how to be a millionaire. So I mean, we've touched on financial security, right? So maybe you want to share with us how do we maximize our finances?
This is a great topic.
I want to know.
I think there's 2 contexts to that. First of all, you have to know what type of woman we are. Are we the single ladies, or are we the married, or are we a sandwich generation with the old and with the young, you know? So if we are sandwich generation, the way we manage wealth is different. And if we are single, we should create a financial husband for ourselves. Financial husband for ourselves, not a man, but a financial husband for ourselves in case we are single. And if we are divorced, the management of alimony and the kids' education is different. So you have to understand what type of woman we are. And second thing, we need to know what personality do we carry. For example, we could be very bold on the outside, but very prudent in the inside. Or we are very flamboyant. At the same time, we are very secretive in certain ways, right? Or we are a 21st century woman, very smart, very crypto, very NFT or something like that, right? So we have to understand what personality we have and what season we are in our lives. And then we navigate accordingly. It's like a chess game for every woman. So we have to understand the game of the rule. First thing, we have to know what is our scorecard and what's our playbook and navigate our chess game.
I agree.
And that sounds a little bit challenging, no? Like, do you feel a bit like overwhelmed?
I think sometimes the strategy is you lose more, you win big.
Okay.
You get what I mean? You can't win all the time. You can't win all the time. Usually, you want to win big. I always see a lot of us, those women who fall before, they are the one who ignite the highest.
That's very true. Great. Well, I wish we could talk about money for the next few hours because I have a million questions.
Coffee after this.
Yeah, we can take it offline, off air.
Sure.
But in closing, maybe your final tips for people watching about what they can do, starting today, how they can make that change.
Dr. Su?
Yeah, I think one is women, don't give up your dream. Even you have a family or whatever, your dream. And also the second thing is just go and challenge your limits, okay? Women, once you put your heart inside, you have no idea how much limit you have. You just push it and then you'll see, always I say that success lies behind the fear.
Yeah, for me, if you know my story, my daughter actually exploded, so she was a 3rd-degree major burn. And then my late husband passed away just 3 months after I discharged her and she exploded. She exploded, then I have to handle the funeral. And then after that, my son had a surgery that everywhere was actually pulse and have to do emergency surgery.
Wow.
And I was bleeding because my hormone just changed. I turned white
one after the other.
Yes, it was a multiple 6 trauma in a year. Can you handle? Can you imagine? That I was deteriorating. I turned like an auntie, 60 years old overnight.
Wow.
So and I was bleeding. Yeah. I was bleeding and I refused to remove my womb. I was bleeding so bad. There was all women is about 11 liters of blood, that pint. I'm only 5.8. It means I can drop dead anytime.
Oh, wow.
And life is so precious. So my conclusion story is that life is so precious that you hold on to the life. And then let life flourish in its own way. We nurture the inner self first, and then we look at the challenges and we face it a step at a time. And it's very important to have a counsel, because a good counselor actually stands with us in good times. As what Dr. Su said, true friends stand with you in good times and bad times.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
100%. That's amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for sharing your stories, both of you, very personal, intimate stories that you've shared with us. And I hope that for you guys watching, that it's opened your eyes to how important this conversation is on managing finances for yourself, for your children, for your family. It avoids conflict. It's important.
That's
Please do it. And
be the superwoman that you are and manage your funds well.
Exactly. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
I don't think it's how much, but whether or not women are able to be financially astute with investments, even though research and stats actually show that women make far more prudent investors than men, even when it comes to risk-taking and newer crypto and etc., things like that. The fact lies in the matter that we don't actually have very many female-oriented investment opportunities. You'll see a lot of rush around this, and even banks, etc., financial arms wanting to feature women, but that's only during IWD, only during March. And I think it needs to be more of a year-round effort, and not just targeting women from a certain socio-economic sector, but we need to be looking at also single mothers, small-time entrepreneurs, women in the rural areas, indigenous women, bringing them all on board. Because it's not about earning a certain X amount, but being able to maximize what you do actually have.